Okay, everybody, welcome to Beginner 2.0. Once I let go of the paper, which was probably 8 or 9 years ago, I made a real promise to myself. I wasn't going to be looking at paper on the stage anymore. It was very distracting. Every time I'd look away, I'd lose my place, and that was very distracting for me and caused fear and caused me to think I didn't know how to play the song. And actually, when I think back on it, I didn't have that great of a practice routine. So I really relied on the paper to remember how to do all the stuff I was trying to showcase to the audience. Once I let go of the paper, my relationship with music went back to the original relationship that I've always had with music, and that is listening and feeling along with it. Music is really actually, I don't know, you could say it's a spiritual thing. You could say it's not a tangible thing. It's a very remarkable, magical element in this world. And we can tune into it in a new way as long as our eyes are not staring at some answer sheet, okay? You are going to be absolutely amazed at what your ears start to recognize. And actually, you already know a lot of it. You just don't really know that you know it. You don't have a name for what you know. So we're going to help you out with that. I am going to start with the one that everybody knows, key of C. It's the most friendly key. We'll start there. Most recognizable. This is how we see the chords on the circle of fourths, otherwise known as the circle of fifths, which just refers to which direction you go. No big deal. But having a knowledge of the circle of fifths and how it's laid out could be the key for you to get to the point that you want to get with understanding music. It could, maybe it's not, but I think so. I think it is. So you see we have the root chord at the top. Go ahead and play that chord. You all know and love it. You can play any variation of that chord, and we would still call that the root. So even if I played my C chord up here on fret 3, 5, 4, 3, 3, still I'm playing the root chord. If I play it way up here on, I could do open 7, 8, 7. You ever played that C chord before? Looks like a G chord, but way up on fret 7 and 8. So I'm still playing the root chord of the key that I'm in. The three chords you see on the outside are what we call the major chords of the key, otherwise known as a 1, a 4, and a 5. You've heard that term before. Some of you probably maybe even understand it already. So while I'm talking, you might be working on some little practice exercise from something else, but that's perfectly fine because I'd rather you come to class and already know the answers. But for those of you who don't know, these outside chords are the most popular chords in a song. They're basically the pillar chords of a song. So C, F, and G, or G7. Notice that the 5 can become a G, or it can be played as a G7 specifically. That's what we call a 7 chord. Doesn't mean it's the 7th chord of our key. Let me back up. Take a look at the top. It says 1. If we go down to the left, it says 2. We hop over here, it says 3. We go up to the left, it's 4. Over to the 5. And then back down in the middle for the 6, which is called the relative. And you'll notice that there is no chord number 7 on the sheet. My old jam cards had it on there, but we played it so rarely, I decided to use the space. I talked to Daniel Ho. He said, you know, I never talk about the 7 chord. I don't even really teach it. I just teach that there's 6 chords in a key, because they are the 6 chords you're most likely going to play, okay? So we took the 7 chord out. We replaced it with this monstrosity here, which I will explain later. So if we play all these chords in order, we are playing what we call the diatonic chord family. So let's play chord number 1, chord number 2, chord number 3, chord number 4, chord number 5, and chord number 6. I'll play chord 7 for you, but it's a funky one. It's called a B diminished, and it is 4, 2, 1 open. Or that might be a B diminished 7, actually. I think it is. So if you just play the first 3, 4, 2, 1. That should be diminished, but again, we're not going to play that in this class. And then if you play your C again, it brings us back to resolution. So let's play our C chord, our 1 chord, a few times. We're going to do, let's do 4 measures of 4. And we'll do it with a little swing, and I'll count you in. A 1, 2, 3, 4, the 1 chord. 3, 4, a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1. To the 4 chord for 2 measures. 3, 4, a 1, and then back to the 1 and the 1. Now we're going to go 5, 4, 1, 1. Okay? 5, 4, 1. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, 2, 3, 4. And head into the 4. The 4. Stay there. Back to the 1. Now we got 5, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1. Let's do a little G7 here to turn it around. Repeat again one more time. C chord. So this is the chord that feels the most at rest. Okay, doesn't it feel nice? We could even end right now. We could go ta-da. We're not going to. Hold on to it. I started my pattern over. Head into the 4 in 4, 3, 2, 1, 4 chord. This is the compassion chord, otherwise known as the sunshine. Back to the 1. They play very well together. Now the 5 chord, tension. 4 chord, sunshine. 1 chord, rest. 5 chord for this tension. Let's start at the top. 1, 2, 3. So we're resting. Really feel the rest. Head into the 4 chord now. Sunshine. Back to the 1. Now here's our adventurous time here. We got the 5 and the 4 and the 1. Let's turn it around with a G7. One more time, the 1 chord. So we're just tuning into how restful this feels. Ta-da! Add a little sunshine. Isn't that so complimentary? Back to the 1. Now a little playfulness from the 5 brings up the tension. Then the sunshine. Then the 1. Go to the 5 again, and then we're going to end on the 1. All right. Well, we did this in C already. Let's go head over to A. Key of A. This is a favorite for guitar players. Key of A, key of D, and key of E are probably the most popular, I think, in G. So the A, now in this case, you want to play that E as an E7, okay? You could try that other shape if you want. It's a beast, but it's useful for sure. But you could just do the little white circles. So same 12-bar blues pattern. We'll just do it one time through. So at the very end, we're not going to play, no, we are going to play the 5 before we end the song. But I'm going to guide you with the numbers, okay? Are you ready? Let's try that. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, the 1. Stay on the 1. Add a little sunshine 4. Then back to the 1. Head into the 5 and the 4 and the 1. We're going to do it just one more time. 5 on the 1. Rest chord. Ta-da! We're the 1. And a 5, 6, 7, 8 to 4. Then where do we go back to? The 1. Now we're heading to the 5 and the 4 and then the 1. 5 chord for a turnaround, we'll end on the 1. Okay, let's do it one more time with a different key. This is fun. B flat. Let's try the other one first. We'll come back to B flat. It's really not as hard as it looks, actually. Okay, G chord is the first chord now. Let's retune our ear, by the way, because we're in the key of A right now. Our inner ear, that liquid inside of our ear that absorbs vibrations and translates it into sound for our brain, thinks that we're in A. So how do we get out of A? Let's play a 1-5-1 in our new key. 1, 5, 1. Now our ear is tuned to the key of G. And now everything relates back to the G. Okay, the G is now the center of our universe. Let's play 2 rounds of our blues. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, the 1. And the 1. Now my voice is getting lower when I'm singing. Over to the sunshine and back to the 1. Bring tension with the 5 and the 4 and the 1. Turn around with that 5 chord. One more time. Without any prompts from me. Now, I wish I had practiced my cool little ending riffs that Perry teaches in his classes, because I can do a pretty mean Megan's ending in C, but I wanted to do it in G just now, and I could have done a trickle down in G, but I didn't have the confidence to do it because I haven't been practicing. That's always nice. These little tiny things you can do to embellish the end. But then, of course, you got to go, what key am I in? Okay, let's just try it with the B flat. Of course, some of you know your B flats. You played guitar before this. You knew your F. Now you know your B flats. No big deal. Some of you are like, might be beginners that are like, that darn B flat made me quit ukulele last time. Don't let it stop you now, okay? We're going to really get that bar down with our index finger. Just squeeze your thumb and your index finger together to push both of those top strings down at the same time. If you have any trouble with B flat and we want to talk about it after class, I'm happy to stick around and chat with you, okay? So here's our B flat, and then, ooh, the sunshine chord is E flat. That's actually a really beautiful chord, and it's not that hard to play. We could make it harder. We could put a dot here also so it looks like the E, but actually our open G string is part of our chord, so it's perfect. We don't even have to press anything. And then there's the F, and then if you really want to make it real sparkly, put that F7 on there. Oops, not like that. Okay, let's do a quick 12-bar blues. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat, flat. See, I was in the key of G still. I even sang my first note in G because I didn't tune myself. Head to the 4. And now I'll stop talking so you can focus. Over to the 5 and the 4. Let's slow it down. We'll do a slow blues here. Turn around with the 5. We're on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 4. A little bit of sunshine. Back to your rest. Tune into the way it makes you feel. Number 5, number 4, and number 1. 5 chord. Okay, you guys are troopers. I'm going to stop sharing that now because the next portion of our class, you don't get to look at anything. But teacher's going to look at it because Well, we'll see. Maybe I don't need to. No, I don't think I do. Let me choose the easiest one, the easiest song I have here. Oh yes, I don't need further. When I find myself in times of trouble. How many of you know how to play that song by heart? Look at these chords and see if you can first tune your ear. Do you remember how to tune your ear? Play a 1-5-1. Especially if you play the 5 as a dominant. What do I mean by dominant? Well, G7, not G. A G7 is very dominant. Anything that has a 7 attached to the chord. E7 is very dominant. So if you play it as a dominant, it really tunes the ear to C even better. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Okay, I just played the first 4 chords. Let's try that again. When I find myself, ta-da. What chord is that? Don't come off of mute, just say it out loud. 1. In times of trouble. Yes, that is the 5 chord, but don't play the dominant 5. It's too zazzy. This is very soothing. And then, what's the next chord? If you know this, you probably played this progression a bazillion times. The 6. We're going to go to the A minor. Mother Mary. Now, here's what I really want you to listen for. A minor is going to completely brighten up when you play that F. That F is going to take dismal and turn it into inspired. Okay, so play your A minor. Now play your F. Redemption, right? Imagine that you're watching a movie and this is the scene and the A minor's there and they're really pulling on your heartstrings with all this really sad stuff. But then here comes the hero, the sunshine, and the hope. Okay, so that relationship between A minor and F is pretty special. And they're a lot alike, only 1 finger difference. Okay, now here's the challenge. I'm going to go ahead and sing the first verse. The first 4 chords are 1, 5, 6, 4. 1, 5, 6, 4. I say that again because my mom has audio processing disorder, and I think I somewhat have it myself. If someone just explains something to me or starts telling me something I'm supposed to remember, I really struggle. If I can see it, it's much better. Or if I can even conceptualize as they're speaking. So that's why I'm repeating myself. 1, 5, 6, 4. If you can just direct your eyes in that little circle, you're going to have a lot of success. But here's the kicker. The song doesn't only play these 4 chords in this order the whole time. I'm going to do that once, and then I'm going to do some other chords that you're going to have to figure out. But I'll pause and give you time and all that kind of stuff. Okay, are you ready? C chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. When I find myself, switch. In times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Okay, next chord. Speaking words of wisdom. Let it. Now here's the challenge. Be. Oh my, yes, we're doing it all. We could take a couple of those chords out technically and it would be fine. Okay. This is a beginner class. I will take a couple of those chords out at first and give you all a chance to do the 8 chord progression. But then I'm going to add those extra chords in for the people who want an extra challenge. So this is an 8 chord progression. You already know the first 4 chords. 1, 5, 6, 4. The next 4 is what you're going to be listening for. Let's start again at the top. And you might have noticed there's only like 2 big strums per chord, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Okay, here's the one. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Okay, if you have if you want to scribble down some notes on a scratch piece of paper or something, if you're also a visual person or you need to kind of organize your thoughts but on paper like I do, feel free to grab something, and we're going to do it again. Actually, I'm only going to do the last 4 chords for you. Some of you might already have figured it out, but this is a beginner class, and I want to give everybody the benefit of having a chance to do it. So let's just do the last 4. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Now we'll do it again, and I just want you to notice too, my last note, my last vocal note holds for the 3rd chord and the 4th chord. My vocal note doesn't change, and it just sounds really beautiful with that chord change, but not the vocal change. So just kind of tap into that. Here we go. Speaking words. 1, 2, 3, 4. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So as a C note was my vocal note, which is the root of the song. So it works over every single chord. Okay, same thing again. Let's do all 8 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Here's that mystery chord. Let it be. There's that C. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Okay. Someone come off of mute, tell me the answer. Or multiple people all at once, whatever you want. Or you can give me your fingers. Karen, you're right. You got it. It was the 4 chord. Yes, correct. You got it right, the 4 chord. So here's our full 8 chord progression. Okay? 1, 5, 6, 4. Now, I just want to say, stop there. That 4 chord progression is ubiquitous, which is a big fancy word that I really learned this last year. So I've been using it as much as I can. Ubiquitous, meaning it's everywhere since 1970. So 1, 5, 6, 4. You'd want to know that one. Okay, 1, 5, 6, 4. And then we go 1, 5, 4, 1. 1, 5, 4, 1. So the pattern's similar, but a little bit changing. And when we listen in for it, actually what's changing is that we're hitting resolution at the end of our pattern now. The first chord that you're going to be learning to listen for is the 1 chord, because that is the chord that you can go ta-da. The first chord you're going to want to listen for. So C chord, play your G, and go back to C. That's what that feels like. And when you're listening to a song, you should be able to listen for where the resting part's happening. even if you don't know what key you're in. Two things. We're going to listen to a random song and we're going to listen for the resting chord. We don't care what key it is. We're not going to play along. We're listening for when it feels rest. Or you feel like you could say, ta-da. So the way I said that, ta-da, I chose the key with my voice. I don't have perfect pitch, so I don't know what key that's in. Ba-da. What note is that? Ba-ba. Key of B. Ta-da. So we're going to listen for the song, listen for the chords. We'll probably listen for about a minute and maybe a minute and a half. All right, those of you who are watching at home, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Then we're going to press pause because YouTube might not let me upload this video if I don't do it this way. So as you can see, we're looking at, we'll just click on the first one. Listening for the rest chord. Go listen to it and then come back and join us. We're listening for the one chord. About half of our people who are here today were able to hear it, and half of them said, no, I couldn't. So we're going to listen to the song again, and the first chord that John Denver plays is a one chord. Now, here's the thing. I know that he's doing a lot of picking and stuff. There's also a bass. There's different instrumentation in here, so we're really learning to push through all the noise of how the song is being played and how the guitar is being treated, and we want to listen for the tonal center. The tonal center will make you feel at rest. New poll. Were you able to hear the one chord after the first time that it played? Okay. Seems that I'm not getting through to everybody, but we're going to keep it up because you're going to have that aha moment and go, oh my gosh. Those of you who took on the bonus challenge of trying to figure out the key, anybody figure out the key? Don't tell me. Don't tell me what it was. Just raise your hand. Okay. And beyond that, did anybody figure out the chords? Some of the chords, it looks like. Yeah, okay, but not many. Only a few people. Okay. Here's how you figure out the key. Every single song has a tonal center. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. So one note. And there's only 12 notes. I think you know that, but really think about that. There are only 12 notes. I'll talk more about that later. But so I want you to choose one string on your ukulele, and you're going to play along every single fret from 0 to 12. That's all your notes possible. And you're going to find the one note that resonates through the whole song and sounds like the finishing note, the ta-da note, okay? So as you're listening to him change chords and all this instrumentation and stuff, there should be one tone that you can locate which is harmonious throughout the entire thing and feels like the foundation of the song. Now, beware, because remember how we said those 3 chords at the top of our circle are all pillars of a song? All 3 of those notes are going to sound harmonious, but one of them will be the final note, okay? So let's give it a shot again. Raise your hand if you figured out the one note, or if you think you did. I'm not going to call on you, so don't worry about that. I only call on people that are here often that I see are reaching for their mute, okay? So otherwise I'll say, does anybody want to tell me? Okay, so you think you found the tonal center. Let's see. Does anybody want to tell me what the tonal center was? Holly?
I think it's A.
You think it's A. Janet, you agree? Yeah, I see a lot of guys nodding. A. Okay, does everybody know where to find an A on their ukulele? You could do the open A if you want, or if you have a low G ukulele, you can do fret 2. That feels really nice. Fret 2 of the G string. I'm going to play just a part of it again, and I want you to just play the A note over and over and over. And just listen to the relationship between the A note and the rest of the notes in the song, okay? And I encourage you to close your eyes. You don't need to be looking at anything. You might as well close your eyes and really just tune into how does it make you feel? That's really what we're aiming for. I mean, that's how I base my memory of chords. Jim DeVille does a really fantastic workshop on the power of these different chords in the relationship to each other and how it makes us feel. So tap into the feeling of that A note over and over and over while you play, while you listen. So our pattern again, 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1. One more time. 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1. 2 long strums per chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got to find myself in times of trouble. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. To the 4, let it be. Resolution. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Now, I can't guarantee that the chorus is the same. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure out the chorus. Let it be. What's the first chord? A minor. If you didn't guess that, feel the devastation of that chord. Let it be. Isn't that like so heavy and just dramatic and beautiful? It's not like bright and cheery and sunny. Let it be. And then what? Let it be. It's not F. Let it be, let it be. I don't know if it's G or not. See? Let it be, let it be. Yeah, let it be, let it be. Now I'm just having fun. It feels like I'm by myself because I can't see you guys. There you are. So let's try that chorus. What was the first chord of the chorus? The devastating one, the most dramatic. The 6 is such a drama queen, right? It's so much like, and if you ever do a song in a minor key, the 6 would be the boss of that key. Like A minor, it actually changes some of the chords around it and everything just to be a real drama queen. So A minor, let it be, and then what? Let it be. Play a C. Do you feel how that just lifted right up? Just like the F chord also lifts and kind of inspires and liberates the A minor. But the C chord is more like the A minor's opposite. It's just a cheerful. So we're listening for the relationship between A minor and C. So play A minor again. Devastation. Now the C. You could call it, I wouldn't call it redemption like the F chord. The F chord kind of redeems the A minor. The C chord just kind of puts the A minor at rest. Right? So A minor, and then C. Now let's do A minor to F and listen for the difference. A minor, F. Doesn't it feel like it's going somewhere? Like, oh, that's just there's the next step. There's something coming after for sure. But if you just do an A minor to a C, it almost makes me want to cry because this song to me is very spiritual. It's like A minor, let it be, which is sad and devastating, and then let it be, simple. And then what? Let it be. What's the next chord after that? It's one of these chords. See some fingers in the air. There might be a question. Robin, do you have a question? No, you're telling me you think it's a 5? Someone else said the 4. Try them both out. Let's do it back in context again, because you'll mess up your ear if you do too many. So A minor. Let it be. Then what's next? Let it be. C. First. And then let's try the 5. I see a lot of 5s. Let it be. Let it be. It's not matching, man. It doesn't sound good. So what was the other option? The other pillar chord, 4. Yeah. So now we have to do it back in context because I just messed up our ear. So A minor. Let it be. Let it be. Let it, sunshine, be. And then back to rest. Let it be. Well, that's easy to remember. Let's do that again. A minor, the 6. Let it be. Back to the 1. Let it be. Now the sunshine. Let it be. Let it be. Did you feel pulled back to the C after the F? I hope you did, because when you've just heard the chord, you want to train yourself to go back to a chord you've already played, not try something different. I had little kids in my class for a long time. I was teaching, I had 40 students a week at one point, and private students when I was at the strum shop, and I would teach them how to do this kind of stuff and how to listen. And sometimes with a melody, like they'd play part of a melody, like row, row, row your boat, and then I'm like, okay, figure out the next part. And they'd be like, ding dong dong, ding dong, ding dong dong, all over the fretboard with no direction, just total random gunshot. And it was so funny to me how often it was the same note they had just played. So they played the note after, and then I said, okay, what's the next note after that? And they should have just went right back to the same note they had just played, but instead, in their mind, they decided, well, it can't be that one. So they tried everything else. And it was a phenomenon, right? It wasn't just a one-off for 5 kids. It was like really consistent. People automatically assume they should go find it elsewhere. But music doesn't really work like that, if you think about it. The melody doesn't really travel that far, and the chord structure doesn't usually travel that far either, unless you're playing jazz music, which jumps all around the circle of fourths, which is really fun. You'll learn to listen for that too if you enjoy jazz. Or Broadway music. Boy, they take you all over the place because they're trying to shock you and keep you interested. But actual music we listen to on a daily, it's going to have pretty much a small set of chords, small set of melody notes, and you're going to just kind of keep repeating them over and over. I think it bears to say, I want you to remember that, because that's a really, really important point that's going to save you some time. Okay, now here's the exciting part. We're right at the end of class. So here's the exciting part is we're going to do John Denver. What was the song we were listening to? Country Roads. We're going to do the chorus of John Denver, but we're going to play the chords for Let It Be. What? Yeah, we're doing it. So do you remember Let It Be? Just to recap, because we're learning to memorize as well. Look at the chart in front of you. Use your eyeballs to move around the chart as I speak. We're playing a 1, 5, 6, 4. 1, 5, 4, 1. One more time. 1, 5, 6, 4. 1, 5, 4, 1. Here we go. Take me home, country roads. We're holding them a little longer this time. To the place, I'm not saying the right words. I belong, sunshine. Back to the 1, West Virginia. To the 5 chord, Mountain Mama. 4, take me home, country roads. Again, take me home. We're on the 1, heading to the 5, not as a dominant, minor 6, and the 4, back to 1 chord, very restful, and then the 5 chord, over to the 4. We just bypass the devastation, right? Back to the 1. Now 2 strums apiece instead. real slow. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Oops. Country road. Now let's just do the 1, 5, 6, 4, okay? Here's the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 5. And the 6. And the 4. And we'll just do those 4 in a row, okay? 1. Well, you done me, and you bet that I felt it. Tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. Fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. For the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest. Nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. Reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Take on me. I changed how many times I'm playing. 4 apiece. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5, 2, 3, 4, the 6, 2, 3, 4, the 4. And let's just end on C. I've been meaning to work on my whole Medley thing, but so many other people did it so well, I don't need to do it also. Now, I'm not that great at memorizing numbers in order. They get mixed up in my mind all the time, especially if you gave me more than that, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. But in my mind, I'm thinking about where it lies on my circle of fifths. So I think about the center, and then to the right is tension, and to the left is sunshine, and directly below is my drama queen. So in my mind, I'm kind of doing this little like shape in my head of the progression. And now I can move to another card, and I can just look at that same shape. You can use the same numbers too. If you're good at that, then do it that way. The homework is, I want you to choose, I just want you to listen to the music that you love, and your only homework assignment this week, officially, is to feel for the resting chord. The 1 chord, the home base chord. Peter Gabriel comes on a lot, and I'm like, I'm a big fan of Peter Gabriel, right? So I'm listening to all this instrumentation and singing and harmonies, but you're listening for that 1 chord and that tonal center. Pull out your ukulele and see if you can find that 1 note. So 2 homework assignments. Listen for a resting chord, and then choose 1 song and figure out what key it's in based on what we did today. You listen to it, you pick 1 string, you go up and down like this, and you figure it out. I will also write this in an email, so don't worry. If you wrote it down, that's great, but I'll follow up in an email, and I will send you the Let It Be. Am I going to send that to you? No. I'm not going to send it to you because I want you all week long. Your 3rd piece of homework is to practice that chord progression. I don't want to give it to you yet because as soon as you see what those other 2 cute little chords are that you can add in, then you'll know the answer. But next week I want to do a little more listening exercise. See if you can figure out those 2 extra chords we're going to add in just to make the song really spicy. Good job. We're opening up that inner ear, and we're learning how to listen with our real heart and our mind, not just with our eyes. See you next week.
Thank you.